Welcome back, YouTube, to another Fat Guy Builds. Don't forget to subscribe, and I do have a Patreon if you want to give $1 a month, 12 bucks a year, if I saved you some money. Anyways, doing this Nissan Altima, and we're going to do some front lower control arms. Use a 21mm socket to remove the lug nuts. Take off the front wheels. Here are the part numbers for the front two lower control arms. This is Mevo Tex. These are from Rock Auto. They're CMS 301170, CMS 301171. Use a 21mm to break loose this bolt and this bolt. Use an 18mm box wrench on one side and use the 18mm deep socket on the other side, and then you're gonna remove this nut and the bolt, which is what holds the bottom ball joint in to the spindle. You're gonna need a 21mm box wrench to hold the nuts on top. See, there's one, and then you're gonna use your 21mm on the bottom, and you're gonna remove this hardware on this point and on this point. Put a jack on the rotor just a little bit to provide it with a little bit of stability. Then take a big old hammer, wedge it in here, play with it, and then pop it. And it should come out on that side like that. And you just wiggle it out. Verify like this that the parts look the same. Take off this blue cap, and now we're going to take this one, put it in the car, jack up and get the spindle out of the way. Then you're going to put the control arm in, put the two bolts in, and start the nuts on the bolts, but don't torque it down. To get this thing in was a migraine and a half. So yeah, you're gonna have one person pull down on here while you line up the little nipple, you get it started. Then I put two nuts on this so that the rotor doesn't move. Then I put a pry bar in here, a big pry bar like this, right? And I jammed it in here like this, and then I pulled on it and got it to move around enough to where he could use a deep well impact socket and a hammer and pop it in. Now we can put the bolt through, and then once that bolt is through, we can torque everything down. I did 80 foot-pounds on this one, 125 foot-pounds on this one. Everything seems nice and tight. Thanks for coming and checking out another Fat Guy Builds. Hopefully this helped you out. If it did, maybe think about giving me $1 on Patreon. Till next time, wrench on.